This is Dan Lawson with the Alliance for American Manufacturing. Today I'm in Canton, North Carolina. I'm with Mr. Roland Osborne, who worked at the mill and is now retired. Roland, how long did you work at the mill here in Canton?
31 years is I'm credited for.
And what different jobs did you hold?
Well, basically most of those years I was an instrument repairman, and then in the last 5 or 6 years I was in computer repair.
And during your time at the mill here, this was a great job in this area, correct?
Well, it was the best in the area, but it always was.
And
at one time, too, by the way, when a young man put his application in with the mill, if he didn't get in any trouble and all and so forth, he was relatively assured that he would be employed whenever they got to his application.
oh, that's great. And you've seen a lot of changes over the years. How many employees were here when you were working?
Well, when I was working, there were probably around 2,000, 2,500 back, or part of that time. It decreased steadily as time went along. At one time, there were probably 5,000 employees in the mill.
So that would make the mill here the largest employer in the county?
The largest, and we were told in those days that Haywood County had the highest per capita income of any county in North Carolina back in those days.
And this mill has a long history with the town. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, it was hard to distinguish growing up what was the town and what was Champion. There was just practically no difference, and everything was related, and if the town had a project, Champion was involved in it, and their employees were, of course, being paid by Champion to do their work, but they would, when they built a new ball field, for instance, they put the fences up, they put the stands up, they did everything. It was impossible to tell what was the town and what was the company.
Growing up in the town, your father also worked at the mill, correct? You realize some of the benefits of having the mill here with some of the activities with the YMCA and things of that nature?
Well, I always felt like I grew up in the YMCA.
And nowadays, we're seeing imported paper come into the country, and it's threatening jobs. We're losing jobs to imports. What would happen to this whole area if something was to happen to this mill?
Well, there's no telling, of course, but it has been documented. Back in the 80s, we went through a struggle to get our permit from the EPA to run the mill, and all of the things that you're speaking of have been written down and so forth, so it's all a matter of record. But of course the town and Canton and county taxes would both increase substantially, I'm sure, and the people that were here would have to, if they wanted to have a job anything like what they've got, would have to move.
And during the 80s, the whole community came together to support the efforts of the mill here, trying to get them to have the mill stay open.
Oh, absolutely. There was, I remember there was a parade that they said was the largest parade ever held in Haywood County by far was for that occasion. There were people, even the people from Tennessee, many of them were here to support the mill during that time.
How would the town survive, though, if there was something to happen? People would have to uproot their families to find other work?
The people that work in the mill certainly would. I mean, there are no jobs in western North Carolina to compare with what these people have, even though they have had to take substantial pay cuts.
So basically, the feeling I'm getting from you is the community and the mill almost, they coexist for each other.
The town would certainly probably dry up, so to speak, because the people that were here would be without jobs, and they would either leave or because there are no jobs.
Now, this is the Canton Historical Society Museum that we're in right now.
It is.
So much of the history in this place, no matter where you look, everything is tied back somehow to the mill, whether it was donated by people that worked at the mill. A lot of the pictures that are beautiful show old-time employees, and basically you get a real sense of history here. What would happen to even this if the mill wasn't here?
Well, people are already losing sight of their heritage, I think, and I think it would just be gone. That's my opinion.
Now, if you were able to talk to the people that make the decisions in Washington on all this trade issues, and if you could have a say to them, what would you tell them has to happen?
Well, in my opinion, this country, the greatness of this country, by and large, was because we had a very strong middle class. And I think that era is declining and almost past. And because we have politicians and lobbyists and all these people that don't really consider what is right and wrong, but are considering money instead, and that's what will have to happen before anything. In other words, this town, the survival depends on clear thinking on a lot of people's part, and well, that's my feeling.
Oh, thank you for that. So thank you for sharing with us, Roland. I really appreciate you taking time today to talk to us, and if there's anything else you'd like to say, I'm more than willing to listen. We've been talking quite a bit here today, and you're just a wealth of information, and the history that's here is unbelievable.
I would say this, that when I grew up in this town, I thought that other places were like this. I didn't realize how special it was, how much my well-being depended strictly on this paper mill. And of course, since then, I've learned just how much it did.
Well, listen, I really thank you for your time, and thanks for a great interview. Thank you.